Overuse and misuse of antibiotics in animals and humans is contributing to the rising threat of antibiotic resistance. Some types of bacteria that cause serious infections in humans have already developed a resistance to most or all of the available treatments, and there are very few promising options in the research pipeline. I don't know how much my dear readers know about antibiotics, but there are only so many kinds. That means if you run out of all usable trees of them because the bacteria become resistant to them, you run out of practically any option available to save our lives. And that's not all. WHO 2017 elaborated that some types of bacteria that cause serious infections in humans have already developed resistance to most or all of the available treatments. And there are very few promising options in the research pipeline. Superbugs have entered the chat. Superbugs. According to Pritish K. Tosh, MD 2024, who posted on the Mayo Clinic website, superbugs may be bacteria, viruses, parasites, or fungi. Superbugs can't be stopped by medicines that are the first choice for treating diseases these germs cause. Superbug infections can lead to higher rates of death from otherwise treatable diseases. They continued on by providing some examples of superbugs that included bacteria like Neisseria gonorrhea and MRSA, viruses like HIV, parasites like Plasmodium, which cause malaria, and fungi like the C. auris strain of Candida. For anyone that is unaware, antibiotics are used to treat an overgrowth of bad bacteria. They do not and cannot treat viruses, although in certain cases where viruses damage our immune systems, triggering the likelihood and vulnerability to other diseases, they are often used to treat those, for example, pneumonia. And it is crucial I make that distinction clear, as Gabrielle Emanuel 2024 did in her NPR article called How the Pandemic Gave Power to Superbugs, because as they echoed, antibiotics cannot cure C19. They don't help a bit, and yet new data shows that during the pandemic, sick C19 patients were given antibiotics, a lot of antibiotics. That's bad because the overuse of antibiotics can breed superbugs that are resistant to medications. The impact of this pandemic overuse has lingered. Global medical professionals who overprescribed antibiotics to 75% of patients hospitalized with C19, despite only 8% having bacterial co-infection where antibiotics would be medically useful. Compounds with the overuse of antibiotics in food. This and more is why superbugs have spiked since the environment has begun, which is why the WHO 2023 has called them one of the top public health threats to humanity. And this matters because, as research shows, repeat reinfections with C19 damage our immune systems. Extensive research on this in Chapter 4, and bird flu might go pandemic.